up, fight fans? This is Kurt Bill with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Moses Itauma, Justice Hunni, Eddie Hearn. Get this. According to Eddie Hearn wants to make Moses Itauma versus Justice Hunni. He said, I think him and Moses is a great matchup. They're both young. They're both got great movement, and they're both a little bit smaller than the bigger heavyweights. But I think that's a good fight. And let me counterpunch. I think it's a good fight for Moses. I mean, I think Justice Hunni's a good fighter. I think he showed us how good of a boxer that he is when he's controlled and he doesn't make mistakes. But I also know he's also shown us that, hey, he can get chinned and he doesn't have the best chin. You know, Moses Itauma, I think, should fight Justice Hunni because I think he does need younger fighters. See, I have no problems with him fighting the Dillian Whites as long as he's fighting guys like Justice Hunni too, Richard Torre too, Jared Anderson too, Efe Ajagba too. These guys that are legitimately not put in the category of being older fighters. You know, those guys mid to late 30s coming into my age bracket, that's not where and what Moses Itauma needs to pad his resume with. Those are not the guys. He has to mix them up with guys like Justice Hunni. And Eddie Hearn, looking at that, it's like, you know, I'm looking at that type of fight, not even sacrificial lamb, but I think now Eddie Hearn is not really concerned with Hunni as far as making him a star. You know what I mean? To be fair, if you're not a Stevenson or a Boots Ennis, you know, I don't think Eddie cares if you're non-British, because it's like, listen, he's already been beaten by Fabio Wardley, right? So Eddie is like, okay, I have no problem sending him back out there now because, you know, the stripe has been done. The loss has been made. So it's not something that I can build off of. You know, that's one factor. You know, he's not undefeated no more. So there's no reason for that protection any longer for Justice Hunni. So you might as well send his ass out there to Moses Itauma and watch him, like my uncle says, get mollywopped, right? So yeah, because that's exactly what's going to happen to him. You know, and that fight I see very quickly happening, very easily, finishing very fast. Because what Moses will do, Moses is going to go high, low, bop, bop, right hook, straight left to the body, right hook upstairs, left uppercut, a straight left over the top, backhand, boom, down goes Hunni. The end of. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because see, Moses doesn't really play around because he knows he has the speed, but Hunni is fast too. He's a good boxer. So it may take him longer just to figure Hunni out, because Hunni is a guy that I don't think he should underestimate, but I think Moses is that good at this point where he knows, like, listen, I'm going to use my feet to avoid the oncoming attacks. But I don't, if you notice, Eddie didn't say, I think it'll be a good fight. You know, they're both young, they're both, you know, smaller and all that, but he did not say that he thinks Justice Hunni, his fighter, will beat Moses Itauma. He just said, I think it will be a good fight. So that's a red flag already. But you guys tell me what you think of Eddie Hearn willing to match up his fighter, Justice Hunni, against Moses Itauma, Queensberry's new king in the making. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch.